You're a handyman or a service provider who is looking to get leads for as little as $5 so that you don't have to go back to working for a job you hate or take lowball jobs because you don't have any more leads. This video is for you. In this video, I want to share with you 7 steps that I use to convert cold leads into warm leads for as little as $5. The first section of the video is going to be to share proof of how this has worked for me. So I'll be sharing payments, transactions. I'll be sharing conversations with clients. And in the second section, I'll go straight into teaching you the 7 steps. And I'm trying to keep this video around 10 minutes. So I want to move into this real quick. And the final section is going to be an offer that I have for you that I'm offering for the first 25 handyman. It's 100% free. I normally charge $500, but all I ask in return is for a quick testimonial. So going back into the first section in respects to your time and mind, the very first screenshot that you see right here came out of a $5 ad. I need a handyman. This gentleman here, his name is Mike G. This is a conversation I had with Mike G instead of the transactions because Mike G sell me every single time once I was done with the job. He said, I need a handyman. And I replied, good morning. What can I assist you with? He said, furniture assembly and hanging pictures. How much? We came upon a price, and this was on October 3rd. On October 4th, the next day, you see a transaction here of $300 that was sent to my cell directly to my bank from Mike G. While I was there, I was able to retarget him and offer more services, and I would create more videos on that in the future. I just don't want to make this video too long, so I want to keep moving on here. If you see here on October 6th, 2 days after, Mike G sell me $250 more. Now, this is completely from a $5 ad. I only spent $5 and right I'm at $550. The ROI on this is insane. I've also placed it's on Facebook, Google, and Yelp, and those are a lot more expensive per lead, let me tell you. To create multiple ads, multiple lead ad is really, really powerful. The power of local marketing. Now, on October 8th, another 2 days afterwards, I did a smaller job, sent me $200 for that job. So that brings me up to $750. Once again, from a single $5 ad. Now, the last job that I did for him was for $275. That brings me up to a total of $1,025. That is over 19,000% ROI. That is completely unheard of on most advertising platforms that I've used. But this is the power of local marketing. If you're selling a digital product, you might want to target the entire nation. If you're selling a local service, local marketing is a really good place to find leads. I'll share the 7 steps shortly. But first, a little more proof. On this screenshot right here, and there's another conversation I had with A and J. That's Allison and Jeffrey. Jeffrey's a doctor. Allison is a stay-at-home. And they were selling their house. And the first job that I did for them was on drywall repair and touch-ups. They paid me $750. And they approached me. They were looking to their kitchen. I went over and I gave them a quote of $3,500. And it took them a couple of days. After a couple of days, Allison replied, let's move forward. After completing the job, actually the same day that I completed the job before I even left, they sent me $3,500. That is $4,250 from a single $5 ad, which is completely amazing once again. On this next slide, I do not have, this person paid me cash. And I don't ask for cash, but she just paid me cash. So I don't have proof, unfortunately, but I made well over $1,500. And she said, hey, Alfredo, I need things that you add, such as shelving, curtains. So I went ahead and I applied her. We agreed on a price, and she rehired me again after retargeting her. She rehired me to assemble, to mount a TV as well. Then she contacted me again. She wanted me to I had to assemble a PEX system. That's those closet systems from IKEA. I said, absolutely. So she messaged me, I already got it. So I went over and I even helped her with that, which I made from this client well over $1,500. I was in her property 3 times. And right now we're in negotiation. She's asking me if I can give her a quote for painting. So if she takes me up on this quote, well over $3,000, possibly $4,000 from a $5 ad once again. And I'm saying this not to show off. A lot of jobs are not, my jobs aren't high. Some jobs pay me, I won't go anywhere for under $100, but some jobs are $200, some are $150. The average jobs are around $300 to $500. So except for painting I work. So now these are all communications I have had with previous clients that have found me through my ads. And I share this once again just as proof, but just with the respect to your time, I'm going to go straight 7-step method of how I'm able to do this. The first step method, and I use Craigslist if you have not figured this out. Local marketing, for me, I find it affordable in Craigslist. they're classified, so you can use the exact same formula. I just find it to be very user-friendly, very cheap, and I can target specific cities. If you notice in Craigslist, most of the people that advertise on Craigslist do not know how to advertise. How do I know this? Because I stalk my competition. Most people don't use it. There's a lot of ads, and there's a lot of other methods. Mine is not the only one, but this is what has been working for me. And lucky for you, you're getting it for free when a lot of people have to pay for a marketer or someone else to create the ads for them. So very first step is a headline is important because in the headline, you'll be able to, in your headline, you'll be picked up by other search engines. Clients, I always ask them, how do you find me? And some of them have found me through Google, even though I'm advertising on Craigslist, because Google, Bing, Yahoo, all the platform search engines will pick up on whatever they type in. So there's 3 steps so they'll be picked up by the search engines. One is your business name, what you offer, painting, handyman, plumbing, and third is the city or county you're targeting. So if somebody goes to Google and they say handyman in Metro Detroit, then I will come up. Maybe not on the first page, but people have told me they have found me through that. Those are only 3 tips I have for a headline: your business name, the city you're targeting, and the service you provide. So if someone types that into a Google search or Yelp or Bing, you'll come up. That's step number 1. We're moving quick, okay? You can always rewatch it if I'm going too fast. You can also, if I'm speaking too fast, lower down the speed, or you can go faster if you like. Now, the second step that we have if you're advertising is images. A picture says 1,000 words, and there's nothing more important than having your face in there, primarily because there's a lot of people that show before and after without themselves in it, and people are skeptical, and their scam alert is on high, or as high you hire someone for the first time, primarily because people have been burned before, and when these people get burned, it goes from one to the next mouth. It gets worse and worse. So we all have heard of the person that came and did a horrible job and didn't come back to fix it. So people are always on alert. So when you're putting up your images, if you see you like this one right here of me working, there's no doubt that I'm the one that is actually doing this job. There's no skepticism, and it eliminates the objection of them thinking, how do I know he did the job? Because those suggestions are there from people. In addition to that, Craigslist does offer Craigslist with 24 images. This right here counts as 1. And even though I have 3, I have a little before and after. This is what I started with, and this is what I was installing. This is me installing it, and this is when the job is done. It's a fan, it's a ceiling light converted to a ceiling fan, which is pretty cool job. 3 tips that I have when creating images. Tip 1 is, sorry about that. Tip number 1 is make sure that your images are clear, not blurry. Tip number 2, make sure they're sliding so people can see what you're doing. And tip number 3 is include yourself if possible. And a bonus plus is if you're smiling. That's step number 2 is reviews or testimonials. Over 90% of people make a purchase or buy a service primarily based on a review or a testimonial. That really sells. Now, I'm going to share with you 3 tips if you don't have any reviews and you're new on how to get legit reviews. The first tip is ask a friend or a family member to do a job at a low price in exchange for a testimonial. The second tip is if you did a job for a customer and you feel you did a good job, offer them a discount in exchange for a review or a testimonial. And the third tip is if you ever do a job for a client who's vibing with you great and you really enjoy your service, just the following day say, how was the job? How was everything? And if he replies with a good response, just take a screenshot and upload it. On top here, I have some reviews from another website that people are talking nice things about me. And right below, I have a screenshot of a client, Alfredo. Thank you for installing the bidets. I installed 3 bidets for this gentleman. You are incredibly polite, respectful, and skilled, and truly appreciated. So this is what people want to hear when it comes to hiring people. Not what you say about yourself, but what others are saying about you. So having reviews is very powerful. And if you try these 3 strategies, you should be able to get legit reviews, not the fake ones, because people will notice when you have the fake reviews in there. And the next one is stories. My story is very short, very brief, and I use ChatGPT to generate my story because I'm not the greatest speller, I'm not the greatest writer. So if you do ChatGPT, artificial intelligence writing software, if you type in there a little summary, you can ask it to write a story for you for your ad. You can even get specific as to how many lines or how many sentences you want. For me, less is best, primarily because there's people don't have a lot of time, and you write a big story, they're not going to read it. So I write a quick story, and yesterday I went to give a quote, and my client asked me about this previous business. My story is, hello, my name is Alfredo. I operate a small handyman service. I started my handyman service in 2019. Forced me to quit my previous business, leaving me and 50 of my employees unemployed. Fast forward to Fast forward to now, and I've been doing this job. I'm going at 5 years, but this is an old ad. I still keep running the same ad. I only change the images and services primarily because it works, but I do need to change this, and I think I already did, but not in this picture. So that's pretty much my story. It's pretty great, pretty straightforward. This I got from another YouTuber. My goal is to establish a genuine relationship with my clients so that they can only deal with me. And I wish I knew his name. I feel horrible that I don't. But I definitely got this is not my idea. I got this from another YouTuber. It definitely works. That's step number 4. We're already halfway into this. And once again, my only tip for this is use artificial intelligence if you're not strong at writing stories. And that's step number 4. Now, step number 5, we're almost done. Step number 5 is breaking objections. Now, this is huge because, like I mentioned earlier, people will have a lot of objections when they're inviting a stranger into their house. A lot of people have been burned before, and that's bad. But what's even worse is what happens afterwards. They'll tell one person, that person will tell another person, and the story will be progressively worse. And that person will tell another person, and the story gets worse and worse from mouth to mouth. So we have a lot of objections to break when it comes to converting cold leads into warm leads. And the why me section, why is something that I didn't come up with. A lot of powerful, bigger corporations use on a regular basis. If you look at the ads, some of them will have it saying, why choose us, why hire us? And every single line below it is designed to break an objection. For example, like I mentioned earlier, I survey my clients and they tell me bad jobs or the bad experiences they have had in the past. One of them would be the handyman didn't show up. The last person showed up 3 hours late. The last person did a horrible job, didn't come back and fix it. The last person was not communicating with me. So my very first line is reliable, honest, friendly, punctual, and excellent communicator. I'm already in this line alone. I broke so many objections: reliable, honest, friendly. And if you go back to my great communicator, it's absolutely amazing. And these are things that people are saying about me. I'm not just saying about myself. So I'm already breaking so many objections on the first line. Second objection: 5-star rating, Angie's List, TaskRabbit, followed by 175 reviews. I have had more now, but this is time. So this is not what I say about myself, which is great. It's what people say about you, which is gold. And that's why reviews are so important. Very resourceful, competitive prices, and free quotes. I no longer do driving quotes. I ask for videos and images. And if the person agrees, I give them roughly what I would charge. And then I go there and I give them the final quote. I'm able to test them out this way instead of just going out over there wasting my time. And they're like telling me it's too expensive after I wasted an hour round trip. That is not good for me. Anyways, breaking objections is a must for any service provider business because there's so many people that have stained our name in the past. So this is another important list, which is step number 5. So we have 2 more steps to go. So I think I covered most of this already. So the step number 6 is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go deep into this because it's just service. This is only put the services that I like the best on top because I make quick money for about an hour to 2 hours of work. I work from $150 to $300, depending on the size of the house. All the way up to $350 for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, depending on the size of the house. Again, it could be even an hour and a half if it's a smaller house. Power changing oil, the vehicle, like most say this piece, I can charge a lot more. And that's just the way it is. It's quick money for me. Installing a bidet, I can install them in 20 minutes, charge $50 per bidet. This gentleman installed 3 in an hour and less than an hour and a half. It's pretty quick money. I haven't been cleaning Tom, but it's really, really good money. So I threw it up there as well. Caulking's not my favorite. I have to move this down. And install exterior painting, pays a lot of money. Ceiling fans, hour to an hour and a half, 150 to 250 charge, depending on the weight and how difficult it is, how high it is. Same thing with chandelier, anyways, you get the picture. The next final step is keywords. Keywords are very important because Craigslist is a search engine. And when you go into the website, right away, they have a place where you can enter what you're looking for. People are too busy nowadays to go through the whole process of looking for someone. So they'll type in the keywords, what they're looking for. I need a painting job. I need a handyman. And so a lot of these things that I have right here, my keywords, I don't offer on my service because I don't want to make my service super long, and people are able to find me just through keywords. And how do I know this? Once again, I survey my clients and I ask them. And that's pretty much it. 7 steps. The last thing that I did not write as a step because it's kind of common sense is call to action. When you put your call to actions, I put it in 2 places. Once up top, primarily because some people are not going to go through the whole process of reading everything, and 2 towards the bottom. So that's it. Just I put it on top and the bottom, and that seems to be working great for me. Some people do 3 places in the top, middle, and the bottom. Some people just do the top. You can test that out for your own self. Well, That is pretty much the 7 steps I use to convert cold leads into warm leads. Once again, step number 1 is a headline. Step number 2 is images. Step number 3 is review. Step number 4 is stories. Stories sound very powerful. Step number 5 is breaking objections. Step number 6 is services. And step number 7 is keywords. If you have any questions, you can always message me below. You can rewind this video. You can slow it down or speed it up if I went too fast for you. So that's pretty much what I have. Congratulations. You guys have gone through all the way to the end. You should now be able to get leads for as little as $5 if you write an effective ad. So you no longer have to do any lowball job, no longer have to go back to work for an employer that you hate because you're not getting enough leads. This simple strategy was a game changer for my business. And what I'm offering for right now for the next 25 handyman who are interested, comment below. I will offer a free where I'm able to go over your ad to make sure you get the most for your dollars. Because obviously when you're trying anything for the first time, you might make a few mistakes that I could probably catch and make your ad a lot more stronger. I normally charge over $500 for the service, but for my subscribers in this chart, I get for free. But I can only do so many because it does take time and effort. That's pretty much all that I have. You guys have any questions? I think I've mentioned. I hope this helps. How to create more and how to retarget people, and that's coming in the future. How to create the mindset that is required to be successful in this business or any business for that fact. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.